What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. It's been a while. I had to take a few days off and recoup from a lot. So today I decided we're going to come back with a bang. We're going to see if we can't get my free, that's right, free 1997, I believe, or 96, Lexus LS400 running again. Now, I say free, and I'll be totally upfront with you guys. The only reason it's free is because the last video did so well that it completely paid for every dollar that I have invested in this car. So at this point, this car is free. If you don't know the story on the car, I found it at Insurance Auto Auctions in Oklahoma City. This is a clean title car. It has obviously been abandoned for many, many, many years. We got it cranking. We got it kind of sort of starting. It will start then die and start then die and start then die, and that's just kind of the process over and over again. This car takes special diagnostic equipment to be able to find out what's wrong with it. Overall, the car is in great shape, aside from the tires that are completely dry rotted and almost falling off of the car. I won this car for $300, and the seller did not accept the bid. So then they came back and it went up for auction again, and I won it for, I don't know, $800 or $900, something like that. And by the time it was done with shipping and fees and all the other stuff they charge, the car ended up being something like $1,100 or $1,200 out the door, which is way too much for this. But like I said, at this point, I have no money into this car at all. It's completely free. And when we first got the car, the tow truck driver actually dropped it off way out there with my other hoopties. I have an entire yard full of hoopties. My stepson came out with me last night, and we pushed this car over here onto this concrete pad where I would be able to work on a little more efficiently without taking up a bay in my shop. So today we're going to use some new diagnostic equipment that I have, some new old diagnostic equipment. We're going to see if we can maybe figure out what's going on with this car and attempt to get it running. Now, after having this car over here, I realize this tire is, look at that. If this doesn't tell you how long she's been sitting, I don't know what will. We should probably open the doors and let this thing cool off a little bit. I think the last of the warm days are about done here in Oklahoma. The temperature is going to start dropping pretty significantly here soon. I've done a lot of research on what could be causing this problem with the car, and there's the problem with this car is, even though it is OBD2 technically, it's not. It's not OBD2. OBD2 will not read this car. This is a special diagnostic port connector for the interior for diagnosing the car. This is also a specialty Toyota diagnostic connector. This one is used for diagnosing under the hood of the car. And this is my Actron Elite auto scanner. These things are becoming very rare. If you work with anything OBD1, anything older, like weird old Toyota, Lexus connectors, the old Ford, the old GM OBD1s, and look, we have the Ford EEC4 connector here. What do we have here? We have a Chrysler SCI connector. These are old school, guys. This is your old GM ALDL connector. And then, of course, you have OBD2 as well. This one tool is supposed to be able to diagnose just about everything. I'm going to put a link to this because I bought it on Amazon. I'm going to put a link to this below. It comes with all these different connectors. Another thing I also got on top of my tool is some cheap Amazon gas struts for the hood. The hood does not hold itself up, and it is unbelievably heavy on this car. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the key in it. I'm just going to we'll see if it starts. It should start, and then it should immediately die. And that's all it's ever done since we've gotten it. Now, I've had a lot of people telling me it's probably the engine computer. They are notorious for leaky capacitors and causing the car to do exactly this, or not start at all, or have all kinds of funny problems. Also, mass airflow sensor, also coolant temperature sensor, also idle air control valve, also fuel pump. What I'm trying to say is, without being able to properly diagnose what's wrong with this car, it's parts cannon, guys. It's parts cannon. And there it is. It does run. We know that it runs. It fires up and runs, and then it immediately dies. See? We put a lot of fresh gas into it. We don't have a security or an immobilizer light. In fact, I don't think this car has an immobilizer in it at all. So And even if you punch on the gas, same thing. It starts for a second and dies. I hear the fuel pump. I can hear the fuel pump priming. Yeah, the fuel pump is priming and then it shuts off. So could it be from old gas? Maybe the fuel pump, maybe the sock is contaminated. Maybe the fuel filter is torn up. Maybe it's not a fuel problem at all. I'm gonna start rolling windows down. We can close these doors, try to conserve a little bit of battery. Have we ever tried the sunroof? This is a bad time to try the sunroof because the rain is supposed to come in tomorrow. We're supposed to get like 4 inches starting tomorrow. Let's find out. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Oh, that's much better. That's much better. Okay, so, you know, the computer is honestly probably the easiest thing to diagnose, and it's not that big of a deal, but they hide the computer. It's like you got to take this off, you got to take this off, and you got to take everything out here, the CD changer and everything, and it hides behind here. And it's like a cluster of computers that they've stuck all together back here. But that is probably the easiest thing to attempt to diagnose because we can pull the computer out, we can take it apart, and we can take a look at the board. If we see capacitors that are blown and leaking or bulging, if we see traces on the board that are torn up, then we know we're probably looking at a computer. I still can't help but feel like it's a fuel problem, you know? Now, I don't remember what is connected under the hood and what isn't. And I had a lot of people telling me if you start disconnecting things, it won't run. And in some cases, that's true. In other cases, it's not. It's been my experience with American cars. Again, I'm not an import guy, but with American cars, typically what I find is if you've got a mass airflow sensor that's causing you a lot of grief, if you disconnect the mass airflow sensor, in most American cars, it puts the car into like not necessarily a limp mode, but it puts it into a pre-programmed state in the computer to where everything runs off a preset set of parameters. And as long as the rest of the car is functioning properly, it will run and drive just fine. Maybe a little rich, maybe a little lean, but it still will run and drive just fine. Now, I don't know if Lexus and Toyota operate that way. They very well may not. And let's see what I got hooked up under here. Well, it's all hooked up. I hooked everything back up. Okay. We could potentially have a relay issue. The fuel pump relay, maybe. But like I said, I hear the fuel pump priming. So I really don't think that's what it's going to be. I think the first thing I'm going to focus on, because this hood is ungodly heavy, so I'm going to focus on popping these struts off and popping the new ones on so I don't have to stand here holding up this hood all day. All right, now if you're wondering how you change the factory hood struts on one of these old Toyotas / Lexuses, I found out the hard way. Normally, these things just pop out, these rods. You take a flathead screwdriver, there's a little clip here, there's a little clip up here. You usually can just pop those clips out and they pop right off. I tried that on this and did not happen. I mean, I got the biggest screwdriver I had and I was trying, I couldn't get it off. Felt like I was gonna damage something. So instead, what I ended up having to do is take a 12 mil and I had to actually unbolt the little nub from there and from the hood. And those nubs came off with the gas strut. And then the new struts came with hardware for replacing the ones that were stuck on the old ones. And now it pops in and now you have clips to pop them off if they ever go bad in the future. Why did I buy this when I don't even know if the car is ever going to run? Hood struts, man, that's why. Look at that. We already fixed something. Listen, even if the car never runs, we currently just bought brand new parts and installed them. The car is already in better shape than it was when we got it. We also put a brand new battery in it as well. So I had a lot of you telling me that these cars have a low coolant cutoff. If the coolant is below a certain threshold, the engine will not run. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I listened, okay? I got some coolant, and I already know it's the wrong coolant for the car, but you know what? It says that this is good for all vehicles, and that must be true. Or they couldn't say it, right? Let me find you guys a spot. Let's sit you down, like right there. And let's just pour some coolant in it. And let's see if putting coolant in it makes any difference. Or we're going to find out the thing's got a blown head gasket. And that's why it doesn't run. And that's why it was parked. I'm just going to top her on up, guys. We're going to put lots of coolant in there until she is plumb full. All right, there we go. She appears to be full. She held quite a bit. I don't think that would have been enough to cause it not to run, even if it did have a cutoff, which I still don't think it had. But there you go. She's full now. All right. So we'll put the cap back on. And that's just one more thing down. One less thing that we have to worry about now. All right. It's full of coolant. New hood struts. That means she's going to fire right up, guys. She's going to fire right up. So let's find out if you guys were right. Is it as simple as putting coolant in the system? I don't think so, guys. No. Nope. Putting coolant in it did not fix the problem. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing it did before. Try it one more time. All right. Now, to answer another question that I saw quite often, in fact, let's do it. Let's do it so you guys can see it for yourself. A lot of you say this car has an immobilizer. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't believe this one does because there is a security light on the dash. It never comes on. And if you remember in the last video, we got the car running. Actually, Santa's Workshop's cousin, Brian, got it running by just turning the key. He turned the key on and it ran. He kept his foot on the gas. It stayed running. Stayed running. As soon as he took his foot off the gas, it died, which that tends to point towards an idle air control valve. But if there is a security system in the car, this is the programmed and correct key for the car, it is now locked, okay? So if there is a security system, it's now locked. Now take a look. You'll notice the security light is not flashing, showing that it's armed. There's no security light showing that it's armed. And I think if you hold it, the windows go up. Look at that. So see, well, that window goes up anyway. And if you turn it to the right and hold it, the window goes down. Okay, so we know that the key is working properly. And if we had the alarm set, this should have reprogrammed the key to the car. It did nothing. There's also a theory that you can take the key, put it in the ignition, and leave it on for about 6 minutes, and it will reprogram itself to the car. I'm going to let you guys know already. I've already tried that, guys. And guess what? That did not work either. Okay. I just ordered a new battery for the key fob, although I don't think pushing a button on the key fob is going to make any difference. Now we'll do one more thing that should test out the theory of this car having a working car alarm. Now, first we have to see if there's a switch under the hood, because some of these will have a hood switch. When you open the hood, the switch deactivates and it will set the alarm, or it will prevent the alarm from setting. Those switches are typically right around the bottom edge here, and if you look, there is no switch. Okay, there's no switch on the hinges or anything like that, no switches down here, so we're good. The car will not be able to tell that's unlocked. It is now locked. All the doors are locked. All right. If this thing has an immobilizer and an alarm that's functioning, you should be able to come in here and unlock the door, open it, and it should set it off. Yeah, she should be really, really upset right now, and she's not. So again, we either have an immobilizer issue or we don't have one at all. And considering this does have a lock, unlock, and a panic, and a trunk release, I would be surprised if this thing does not have some kind of an immobilizer on it from factory. So I'm a little concerned that we don't have a security light that comes on. It could be burned out too. But again, we just opened the door after locking it up, which should have triggered an alarm. Ooh, and it didn't. That actually seemed like it ran a little bit longer. And that didn't. Okay, so next I'm thinking, could we have some kind of a fuel system issue? That's my next go-to. Obviously we have spark, right? We know we got spark. I'd love to put a fuel pressure gauge up on here. I'm trying to figure out, do we have a relief valve that we can hook it up to? We have a fuel pressure regulator. Here is your fuel rail, and there's your injectors. We do have a diagnostic port here as well, and you can jumper this. You can jumper this port. Ooh, that looks real bad. That needs to be cleaned. I can't go any further with this till I get this cleaned. You can jumper this to force the fuel pump to stay on. I tried that already. It did nothing. And I don't see, unless I'm missing it, it could be on the back here somewhere. I don't see a Schrader valve because I do have a fuel pressure gauge, but I've got to be able to connect it to the fuel rail somewhere. And you're not going to get to it over here, I don't think. Oh, do we have two fuel pressure regulators? One on that side and one over here on the other rail? No way. It kind of looks like it. But as far as a Schrader valve is concerned, I don't see one. We could have a massive vacuum leak too. That's another thought. There could be a massive vacuum leak under here. It is not going to be timing related because I'm telling you, 2 times, once off camera, twice, we have gotten this car running and it stayed running. All right, like it stayed running. It was running perfectly until you took your foot off the gas, and then it immediately just crashed out on us, man. So here's what I'm going to do for right now. I'm going to disconnect the battery to start with. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to clean these connectors, and we are going to plug in my tool to this car. And I don't know what functions we're going to be able to access, but I mean, we're going to hook it up and we're going to see if we can figure anything out using the proper tools. All right, so we're plugged in, surprisingly, to the OBD2 port. And this one was able to read it. It's able to connect to the computer, which is a good sign. And it says that it can't find any codes. So there are no codes, but yet, yeah, still nothing. So we can view freeze frame data, which I doubt there are any because there's none because I had the battery disconnected. Component locator, I have no idea. ABS camshaft position sensor. Oh, this will tell you where it is, in the distributor housing. That's nice. Canister, purge solenoid, EGR, we don't need to know all that. And let's see, acronyms, review data, print, code lookup, system setup. So that does us no good. Let's see if we have any special functions available. Global OBD2 functions, state of OBD check, mill status, O2 tests, determining supported, collecting O2 sensor results, bank 1, sensor 1, and bank 2. Let's just click. It says low voltage for switch, measured 0.4 volts. 1.25 volts. These aren't going to help us out much. Diagnostic monitor tests. Test 1. Status is okay. I don't even know what these are. None of this is helping. It says status, again, okay. Yeah, none of this is helping because it doesn't tell you anything. Onboard systems. Collecting vehicle data not supported. Okay, great. Vehicle information. Verify key on, engine off. Communicating. Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't think this is going to work. And the connector that I have for Toyota, this is supposed to fit inside here. There's a port, yeah, right there. This does not fit. The pins are too big to fit in there. So that doesn't work. This doesn't work either. Modules present. It just says ID protocol 10 VPW. Okay. So none of this is helping. Start the engine. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure what we're doing here. Go to the main menu, and then that's it. So, oh, well, it ran 2 or 3 seconds longer than it normally does. Okay, let me tell you where we're gonna go next. This is awful. This is awful. What I need is like a factory scan tool. The factory tool that works on a 97 Lexus. Something that actually can get into these modules and help me figure out what's going on. Now, this adapter right here fits perfectly. Here's another thing. I don't know what this is, but there's a clip. It's like a little paper clip right here that plugs into this, and this is factory. That goes in there, okay? But this piece right here, this fits exactly like it's supposed to. I think you got to take that paper clip and turn it around. And maybe you're even supposed to take it out. I don't know. But if you stick this in here, it fits perfectly and it plugs into my scanner. The problem is I don't know how to access any of those types of special functions from my scanner. So here's my next thought. I've had a lot of people saying it sounds like it's fuel related, okay? And I sure do appreciate all of your help. Seriously, if you got any ideas, drop a comment below, man. I'll give it a try. We've got the mass airflow sensor hooked back up. All the sensors are plugged in and connected. You know what I think we'll do? I think it might be a little easier. Instead of taking things apart, what if we spray some starting fluid, like straight, there we go. This should take it straight into the intake here. Let's just spray some starting fluid. Where is it? Right here. And let's see if we can get it to run any longer than 2 or 3 seconds. Because if it does, that tells us we're probably looking more of a fuel problem. If not, then it seems like we're looking at some kind of a spark problem, or maybe even an immobilizer issue. And I didn't spray much in there, so it's hard to say if this is really going to do anything or not. I should have sprayed it directly into the intake instead of just into the little tube. But I don't know. I mean, it didn't sound like it was doing. I don't think so. That it kind of seems worse now. Yeah, I think we may have pissed it off real good now. Well, we're right back to square one, aren't we? Guys, it's running. It's running. I told you it runs. I told you it runs. She's running. She's trying to die. Come on. She's running. She's running. Oh, she's smoking. Oh boy, is she smoking. Wow. Is it on fire? That doesn't look good. Oh my goodness. Wow. So much smoke. Oh, it's all just burning off the exhaust. Yeah, that's oil burning off the exhaust. It's fine. It's fine. Damn it, man. She ran. I told you it runs. I'm not sure. I mean, it is warm back here, so I guess we are getting exhaust out the tailpipe. Could it be clogged up? I don't think so. I'm at a loss on this one, guys. I'm at a loss. It could absolutely be fuel related. It could not be fuel related. I just don't know. Well, let's see if it'll start again. It is rare that it will start up like this. Very, very rare. Let's go to vehicle diagnostics real quick. And let's see. Let's see if we can get anything to come up and tell us that there's something wrong. Please give us a code. Give us something to look for. 2 codes. Bingo. Bingo. Oh. Cylinder 4, misfire. and cylinder 4. Okay. Thank you for that. That's that's not helpful. Not at all. Cylinder 4 misfire. All right, so she's got a miss. And then right back to it again. Right back to just... You can hear how strong it fires. All right, this is not like the car's having a hard time where it's like cranking and cranking and cranking and barely able to ignite. Otherwise, I'd be pulling all the spark plugs and coils out trying to figure out what's going on. The car starts right up and immediately dies. Instantly starts, instantly dies. And I can hear the fuel pump behind me. I know a lot of people's going to be saying fuel pump. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because every time the car dies, I can hear the pump prime again. And you hear, I've got my foot partially depressed on the accelerator pedal, and you can hear when I fire it up, how the revs go up. It revs up. It's not like it's a lack of fuel pressure. See? Look at the gauges here. Oh, come on. RPMs go up, and it just instantly crashes. See? It's not timing. It's like a module. Ooh. She kind of popped there. Come on, girl. The fact that we're able to connect with the engine computer is a really good sign, but that doesn't mean that there's not something wrong with the computer itself. And honestly, this is where I'm leaning. I'm leaning towards either a computer control module or an ignition module. And I'm not familiar enough with this kind of car to really know how the ignition works on this. Is there even a distributor, or is this... Where would the distributor be on this car? All right, obviously we've got the coil here. Oh, somebody's been in here and they didn't put pieces back together. Is that tape on the coil? Oh, dude, no way, no way, no way. It won't be that easy. It won't be that easy. Are you kidding me? How do we get this off? So somebody has been in here. What is going on? Somebody's been in here. What's going on with these coil wires? What is the deal here? Hold on a minute. Why has that got tape all over it? Electrical tape going to the coil wire. So then there's got to be a distributor that feeds this coil wire. Is it under the cam cover? Oh, I'm so lost, guys. I am so lost on this car. Now it's got me thinking maybe we should be trying to get into... Well, these are unbolted. These are unbolted. There's only a couple bolts holding it in. Where's the freaking distributor? I think what we're going to do is we're going to take these covers off, guys. You're going to have to give me a minute. This looks like it's going to take a little bit of time. Let me get these cam covers off. Let me get this air intake assembly off. I think we need to get under here and take a look and see what's going on. Now, I stopped so I wouldn't take these covers off without you guys. I want you guys to see what I'm going to see, but I've already noticed something. All 2 bolts, there's bolts missing on this side, but there were 2 holding it on completely loose. Completely loose. Somebody just tossed it back together. So somebody was doing something on this side. And you have to take into consideration we have electrical tape all over this coil wire. Something's going on here. So we have a coil assembly right here, but I just found another coil pack as well hiding down here. If you look down here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a coil pack. Bingo, right there with a coil wire that is running up through here. Now how this ignition system works, I have no idea. I'm assuming this is a distributor-less ignition using cam and crank sensors. But I could be wrong. I just don't know. I've never owned or worked. Yeah. Ah, there it is. There it is. It's in front of the camshaft? What in the world is this? Whoa. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've never seen anything quite like this before. I'm amazed. I am absolutely amazed right now. We have to get this cover off as well. Let's see if we can pull this out. And what is this thing? This thing is hung up on something. Can we just pull this thing through here? Or what are we stuck on, man? Get out. Because somebody has definitely been under here screwing around. There we go. There we go. This gives us access to our timing belt as well. Would you look at this? So we have a distributor cap on each side of the camshaft. I'm being completely honest with you guys. I am blown away. I've never seen a setup like this before. This is wild. This is wild. Oh, what's going on with this one? Oh, we may need to pull these plugs and the wires while we're at it. This one's full of oil. That'll cause it not to run. That one looks like it was full of oil. So valve cover gaskets, we already knew that were leaking. That one looks all right. And what about this one? Oh, that one's not even on. That one's not even really attached. So since we're here, I guess we need to pull the plug wires out, right? This is wild. The belt looks to be in excellent shape. I'm really happy about that. I don't think you guys can see it, but maybe you can see it there. Take a look at that belt. I don't see any stress fractures at all. And in the ribs of the belt, or right here, can you see them? The belt looks good. The belt looks to be in really good shape. So somebody has done, at some point, a timing belt on this. So this leaves me wondering what is going on. So number 4 is, let's see, we've got 2, and then this one's number 4. This is the one that was misfiring right here. And then which one is that all the way at the end? Yeah, number 4 is the one all the way at the back. So it might be worth pulling that out. And then this coil wire runs to the center where it distributes the fire to all of the other plug wires. This is just absolutely phenomenal. I love this. This is really cool. Now the question is, how do you get in here to get to this? Because it looks like you got to take all this off. It also looks like you got to find a way. I don't know where all the bolts are for the front cover, but you got to take these front covers off. There's one up here, probably one down a little lower. You're gonna have to take those off to get into this thing. Oh, that one was pinched. That one was pinched between metal. That could cause a freaking problem, right? I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna try it again, just kind of like this. Let's just see how it does, and let's see how these. That's plugged in. That was good. I mean, we may need to do plugs, wires, cap. I assume there's rotor bugs in these, just like any other distributor car. Come on, let go. It doesn't look so bad on this side. Let's plug it back in. There we go. Make sure these are plugged in. I'll make sure the other ones are plugged in. And guys, this thing may just need a tune-up. It may just need a good tune-up. That would be incredible if we could get this thing running again simply by doing a tune-up. And I got a feeling this thing's been arcing. I got a hunch this doesn't fit in here very well either. Let's leave that out. Yeah, this doesn't even fit in here right. I mean, it looks okay in there. Yeah. All right, I know we've got everything disconnected. I know the car's probably going to be pissed off. It may not start at all with all this stuff unhooked right now, but I think it's worth giving it a shot. Yeah, it's doing exactly what it did before. Yeah, I'm really not surprised. I didn't expect it was going to do anything different. I was hoping that maybe we were losing spark through that coil wire that's got tape on it. Maybe it was arcing, and maybe by moving it out of the way where there's nothing for it to arc against, that it would fire right up. There it is. Oh, she ran. She did. She ran. And then she... I think you guys are able to see that we're getting somewhere. You know, I know most of the time it still does this number, but at least we're getting it to where it will try to start better and more often. There it is. There it is. No, no, no. Damn it. It was running. It was running. Come on, man. She's starting to get better, and she's starting to fire up a little more often. I'm tempted to pull the spark plugs out. Let's take a look at them, maybe try to clean them up. I don't think that's going to be it, though, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but what we have here is we have the same symptoms over and over again. Start, die, start, die, start, die. But the key is it starts. It starts every single time and then immediately dies. On the occasions when it starts and it actually starts running for a while, you'll notice it will run smoothest mostly. Obviously, I had one misfire, but it runs relatively smooth at good 2,000-ish RPM, and then instantly something cuts off and it dies. This is acting less like it needs plugs and wires, which it obviously does, and probably doesn't need distributor caps either. But this is acting more like some kind of a module, like an ignition control module or something, is heating up and cutting off, and heating up and cutting off. I just don't think this is fuel related. I don't think it's injectors, because it's just, it's like something is shutting it down. See how it ran longer that time before it shut off? It'll do this all day. I'm not going to waste your time with just doing this over and over again, but I'm going to sit here and play with it a little bit longer, guys, and see if we can figure out anything else. And it's running. Bingo. First thing I want to check. Yes, air is coming out of the exhaust. The exhaust is not plugged. She is running. She's running on her own with no help from me. Cylinder 4 is still misfiring. You can clearly see it's dead as a doornail. We've got massive vacuum leaks from the IAC here, and I think we've got another idle air control valve right here. Somebody's gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks like an IAC for sure, but this over here looks exactly like it with the same kind of plug. I'm wondering if we don't have something just really, really wrong with these idle air control valves. We found one in the center console. Yeah, there's even still writing. I mean, it's hard to see on the timing belt. Obviously, the timing belt's a little older, but that timing belt is nowhere near expired at all. The writing is faded on it, but you can still see it. I'm wondering, somebody I think has been in here messing around with the idle air control valve, and that is very, very important. Very important. Unfortunately, I think to get this thing off, it's supposed to be some kind of a major pain. It doesn't look like it's that big of a deal. To me, it doesn't look like it's that big of a deal. And somebody help me out with something. If you're a Toyota expert, anybody tell me what this is? It says Toyota CHD1, an igniter. An igniter. Hold on a minute. And it's got two of them. An igniter, huh? So, I guess I have two questions. This igniter, the fact that there are two of them, could this be for the coils, or are these igniters for high-intensity discharge lights? If these are for the coils, these would be the ignition control modules right here. And it makes sense. You've got two of them, one on each side. We've got, what color wires? We have yellow and green, red and black, yellow, black. Can we see the coil over here to see what color wires we got going into it? Oh, I can't see. We have red and black. That's the igniter for the coils. That's what it is. That is your igniter for your coils. And I'll bet we have the same one over here if we could get to it. Red and black, I'm sure. That's got me thinking too. Ignition control module failure? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. It's parts scanning, guys, because we don't have tools to properly diagnose what's going on with this car. And here we go again. If I hadn't have plugged that vacuum line, she would have stayed running, at least for a while longer. As soon as I cut that vacuum, it died. I feel like we are so close to figuring out what's going on with this car. I really do. Let me see if I can get her to run again. She's running again. This is becoming more and more regular, where she starts and stays running, guys. I'm telling you, we're making progress. The only problem is we don't know what's actually going on here. She certainly is running. I'm going to pull the plug on cylinder 4, try to figure out what's going on with that misfire. Hopefully we can get hopefully it's just a fouled or dirty plug. We just clean it up, put it back in, it'll be all right. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let it sit here and run. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to bother it. I'm just going to let it sit here and do its thing. The longer it runs, I think the better chance we have of actually getting this thing going. Boy, she's starting to smoke now. I mean, it's not running great, but it's running. I'll take it. Let it burn off all that oil that's all over the valve covers. Hopefully get her to build up a little heat. It's, aside from the one cylinder misfiring, it's not running poorly. Idle's a little high. It's got a massive vacuum leak, but you don't see, oh, I was gonna say, you don't see any smoke. Oh, wow. Yeah, you don't see any smoke coming out of the exhaust at all. I mean, it's hardly anything. Wow. Okay. Why am I getting head gasket vibes here? Actually, I think that's oil, which is not good either. Oh, good Lord have mercy. Wow. Actually, it smells kind of like rotten gas. The surprising news is that it's still running. It hasn't shut off. I don't really want to stick my hands down there. Oh, look at all that. Wow, she's just smoking everywhere, guys. This thing is just billowing smoke from everywhere. Seems like it might be starting to build up pressure on the cooling system. I can't believe it's still running. I don't want to touch anything because I know as soon as I touch something, it's going to die. It's going to shut off and it's not going to want to run again. At this point, as long as it's not overheating or knocking or on fire, which that's debatable right now. It's smoking a lot from well, everywhere. That's of course it doesn't. We've got so many problems right now that's going to be causing it to run like absolute crap. Ugh, jeez. I'm glad this is not in my shop. It's got so many problems right now. Even though it's running solid, it's staying running, smoking like crazy. We don't have the IAT on this. Intake air temperature sensor, I believe, is built into the mass airflow sensor, and we don't have a mass airflow sensor either. So this thing is trying to run off of some base map that it's configured for. We've got a massive vacuum leak right here, and while I am tempted to try to close that off, actually, you don't close that off. That port on the IAC runs directly to this. It just sucks air constantly, but I thought that was a valve that was supposed to open and close. Once the car warms up, I thought that valve was supposed to close. But it's still, yeah, she's still sucking tons of air. I don't know, guys. Here's what I do know. She's running. she is running all the vacuum leaks in the world, and she's running. What did we do? Absolutely nothing. How did we fix? Oh, wow. I don't know. Temperature? Oh, power steering. There's none. Oh, wow. There's no power steering at all. Air conditioning? Anybody? Let's see if we got AC. I wouldn't bet we got cold air. Let's try it anyway, though. Who cares, right? Let's give her a minute to come on. The RPM's a little high, but not too bad. Oh, the car is just filling up with smoke. Actually, we have cold air. I think I'm gonna die in here. This is incredible. The temperatures come up nicely. It's got cold air conditioning, guys. I'm not even joking with you. The AC in this is ice cold. The AC is ice cold in this car. Do I dare give it gas? Do I put it in gear and see if it moves? Oh. Of course. Yeah, I killed it. As soon as you touch it, man. As soon as you touch... Ooh, wow. As soon as you touch it, it dies. You can't do anything. You can't touch anything, or it just dies. This is bizarre. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am... this is why I typically don't buy these import cars, all right? I understand my American stuff. It makes sense because, you know, as a person back then, they didn't have a whole lot of money. American cars were typically rather cheap. I understood them. They made sense. We didn't have these weird overhead cams with distributors built on to the top of the camshafts, you know, to the front of your camshafts on each. It just, American cars just, to me, made a little more sense. A little easier for me to understand and work on. This is just so, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's got good pressure on the cooling system. Cooling fan seems to work. It wasn't getting hot at all. I mean, it's running, you know, all things considered, not too shabby. We got a lot of oil to burn off. Valve cover gaskets are leaking like crazy. You know, at the end of the day, my goal for this video was to get the car running. Unfortunately, I didn't actually do very much other than tinker with a few wires and a few modules to get it there. It's running again. It's running again. All I did is turn the key this time. And then it's dead. As soon as you put it. Starts every time. Starts every time. I fixed it. See? I fixed it. I fixed it, guys. There you go. I am ASC YouTube certified master mechanic right here. What the hell? I don't know. So my question is now, first and foremost, let's shut it off. All right, we know it's got a misfire. That's not good for it. So let's go ahead and shut her down. Let's shut her down. We know that we've got a solid misfire on cylinder number 4. So why don't we come over here to number 4? Easy enough. Let's pop this out. Let me go grab a spark plug socket. Let's get down in there. Let's pull out number 4 and try to figure out what's going on. Let's see if we can get it running on all 8 cylinders. All right, well, we are one step closer to figuring out why it's misfiring. So I thought number 4 was here. When I pulled up a firing order, it says number 4 is here. Take a look. Oh, full of oil. So we just dumped all that oil down in there. That's great. So there's a couple things here. One of them, oh yeah, that thing was just jam-packed full of oil. But the other thing, aside from this thing being completely covered in oil all the way to the tip of the spark plug, is this rubber gasket right here. This is part of the like the coil boot, the plug wire boot. Yeah, this thing's not firing at all. It's completely coated in carbon buildup. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to make sure I get the rest of the boot out of there because the boot failed. And what it did is it left, you see this? It completely fell apart and it got stuck around the spark plug to where this wouldn't even fit over the spark plug properly anymore. So who's to tell what exactly the problem is? Could be that it's completely flooded and covered in oil, or that this rubber boot fell into the cylinder. Not into the cylinder, but into the spark plug well, to where this coil wire couldn't actually fit on top of the spark plug anymore. Either way, we're going to fix both problems right now, clean up this spark plug, and we're going to spray a little bit of brake clean down the engine there, and hopefully it'll fire up again, and hopefully when it does, it runs a little better. We might even hook up the mass airflow sensor this time. All right, so the firing order was correct on Google, because that one definitely was not fire. We got it cleaned up, sprayed a little carb cleaner down the spark plug well, got it into the engine, sprayed quite a bit more into the intake to kind of help clean things up in there. So it's probably not going to want to fire up right away. Also hooked up the intake. I left everything else apart. Got the intake back on, got the mass airflow sensor plugged back in. Vacuum lines are reconnected. I'm not sure if this is going to do any good or not, but let's give it a try, man. Let's see what it does. It's either gonna work or it ain't. There it is. And then it died. And then it died. It fired right up. And we're right back to where it started. Here we go. Here we go again. That is wild, man. This thing sat here and ran great. The temperature is still relatively good. It's still up. It's not cold. And now it doesn't run anymore. Completely crapped itself. I was excited. There it is. There it is. There it is. And there it went. I am so at a loss right now. I'm so at a loss. Okay, let's go back. Let's check our codes. Let's see what we're working with now. Let's see what she's complaining about. Cylinder 4 misfire, mass sensor, air intake. Ah, now that is a code that we've been looking for. This is one that matters. This could cause it not to run. Camshaft position sensor A, circuit 1 or single sensor. So a PO340. And again, cylinder 4, mass, intake air, PO340. Multiple PO340s. That right there tells me what I'm needing to know. And I'm willing to bet that on this car, the camshaft position sensor is probably somehow built in to each one. It's probably got two. I'm guessing it's got one built in to each one of those distributors. I'm assuming something in there. We got to figure out where it is, because that's what we've been looking for. I'm going to clear the codes. I'm going to keep trying to get it to run, and we'll see what happens. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we have figured out the culprit. I think we know what the problem is. She's pissed. Don't think for a moment she's not, but let's see if it'll stay running when we put it in gear. It does. And now it's idling normally. That was easy. Backwards. Forward. Shut it off. Let's see what happens. Come on. And it starts right back up. Bingo. This time, I can actually say I figured out what it was, and I fixed it. Okay, it's not fixed yet, obviously, but we could probably take this on a test drive around the block now. Obviously, after finally getting this thing to run long enough to get a code for a PO340, which is a cam position sensor, number one. That cam position sensor is going to be on this side of the engine. That is the passenger side. And what I did is I realized we have two cam position sensors, one on each side. We have the crank position sensor underneath. We're only getting a code for this cam sensor. So I started digging around under here, and I saw blue corrosion. Bright blue corrosion and melted wires. What is going on here? Oh, that wire is disconnected. Or no? Is that just corrosion? We're going to have to cut into this. That's what we're going to have to do. I think something chewed into this, guys. I could be wrong, but I think something is going on inside of this wire harness right here. Something is going on with this harness, and this part of the harness runs back here with all of the rest of this stuff. The other part of the harness is right... Ooh, that's hot. Ouch. Crap. Come on. This is your cam sensor right here. This is the wire for the cam sensor that runs somewhere probably at the bottom of this. You probably got to take all of this apart to get to it. As soon as I saw the corrosion down here, I knew. I was like, and let me guess, it goes to this one. Sure enough, it does. It goes to that one. The connectors themselves look all right, but there is something going on in this harness. So by disconnecting it, you have put the car into like a limp home mode or whatever, and just kind of move that out of the way so nothing hits. We should be able to fire it back up. Let me try plugging it in. Let's see if just pulling the wires out and moving them around made any difference. I plugged everything back in. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to see any difference. I think now the car is going to go back to not wanting to run again. Who knows, though? Sometimes just jiggling wires can make all the difference in the world, right? Let's put the key in. Let's see if it decides to start back up. No. And now we got that white smoke again. Yeah. Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. So that's another thing I noticed with that cam sensor not working properly. Obviously, the computer is getting some seriously screwed up readings, and it's causing it, obviously the cam and crank sensors all work in combination to control timing and fuel. That's right, spark and fuel. So if you've got the computer thinking you've got one camshaft at one place and another cam and the cranks at another place, and it's trying to control the timing via spark and the fuel mixture, that's going to be extremely difficult to do, guys. In fact, it's absolutely impossible. The computer cannot do it. So let's try it again. Again, it idles like crap, but it stays running just by disconnecting it. I can rev it. Rev's fine. Revs just fine. Idles erratically. And then as soon as you put it into gear, smooths right out. No misfires either. Runs great. Idles a little too high. But I'll tell you something. We took it from a car that did not run at all. And remember, a car that was blowing. You remember all the smoke coming out of this thing? Remember all the white smoke? You would have thought it was a head gasket. I bet 90% of you saw all that white smoke and thought head gasket. No, This is not a head gasket, ladies and gentlemen. It's simply a car that can't control its ignition timing and the fuel mixture properly. Now, you might be able to get this thing to run a little better by disconnecting the mass airflow sensor, or it may just die like that. So we'll plug that back in. Apparently that's a little more important. We could disconnect the other cam sensor. She's not going to be happy running like this. I mean, this is not fixed. What we have to figure out now is, do we actually have a bad cam position sensor, or, judging from the blue crap coming out of this wiring harness here, like what is going on further down in the harness? Looks like we've got some electrical tape. That can't be factory, right? No, that's electrical tape. That can't be factory. Somebody's been in here. Here we go. Let the fun freaking begin. Somebody's been in here messing around. Okay, here's my thoughts. Let's take it for a quick drive. We can't go far. Obviously, we've got tires that are ready to pop. But it would be nice to know if we have gears. I got to open my gate. I got to clean all this mess up, pull all these tools out. This tire is it's bad. It's real bad. Let me get all this crap cleaned up, and then we'll take it around the block, guys. First drive. We'll find out if this thing's going to run and drive. We're getting there, guys. She's close. If all goes well, this thing has a working transmission. Oh, you know what it doesn't have? I totally forgot. We got to disconnect this. Let's move this out of the way. Get this out of here, because what it does not have is power steering fluid. Yep. We got to put power steering fluid in it. So before we go any further, give me a couple more seconds here, and we'll throw some power steering fluid in the old girl and see what she does. Yeah. I don't think there's anything in there at all. You notice how there's no smoke coming out of it anymore? Power steering is whining. She was dry as a bone, man. No smoke, nothing. Again, she's pissed off, but the question really is, bad sensor? Could be. Or bad wiring. If you're gonna replace one, you should really replace all three cams and crank together. You really should. I don't know though. The name of the game here is cheap, right? Oh, look at that power steering. Wow. That's nice. Unfortunately, the steering wheel does not go down. The steering wheel is stuck. Something is broken in it. Power mirrors? Yeah, power mirrors work. What about that one? Yeah. I mean, the car's only got 128,000 miles on it. It's not like it's super high miles or anything. Let's see if we can get out of here without hitting anything. There we go. I can't believe she's moving under her own power. Look at this. Not only is she moving under her own power, she's actually doing it pretty well. Here we go. I mean, moment of truth, man. It's hard to believe that just the other day I pushed this car into what I thought might become its forever home, its permanent resting place. And here we are today, taking her on a test drive. It shifted. Yeah, shifted. She already shifted. She's got a transmission. It's a good car. Brakes feel great. Tires are awful. Wheels are not particularly great. Signals? Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Oh, she was idling a little weird there for a minute. Let's give her some gas. And shift. We're going 40. Wow. All right. Hey, more power to you, man. Blow the dust off this bad boy. Get those brakes. Those brakes have not been working in a long time. I'm surprised they feel as good as they do. It actually seems to stop pretty good. We're not going on the 10 mile. We're going to take her on a back road here where I feel like we're relatively safe. Let's give her a little gas. Shift's great. We're doing almost 60. There's 60. Yeah, 60 mile an hour. Suspension feels phenomenal. Tires, they ride like squares. Brakes, slow her down. Brakes feel great. Transmission downshifts properly. Very nice. Very nice. I'm genuinely surprised, guys. I can't believe this thing's actually riding as good as it is with those bad horn works. Let's take her a little further. What the hell, man? Poor car. This thing has been put away for so long, and to think it's going to be one of two things, guys. I'll let you drop your comments below and tell me what you think. Camshaft position sensor itself is bad, or do you think it's in the wiring? I'm going to tell you right now, even though there's some corrosion and electrical tape, I'm going to dig into it and just check. But something tells me, I don't know, I think we're going to find it's probably the sensor itself. You throw some tires on this, you get that sensor replaced, and clean the car up. This is honestly not a bad car. I think we've gone far enough. Now is the point where I think we need to turn it around before something bad happens. Let's see if we can, yeah, we can pull in here. Brakes are solid, like absolutely solid. Check engine light is on, obviously. Reverse. There we go. Oh, I didn't have it in power mode? Ooh, we do now. Do we have a trip on here? Where's the trip button at? Oh, it's right here. There you go, 1.3 miles. Now she's in power mode. No, she's, oh. That's 6,000 RPM. Wow. You go with your bad self. That was 6,000 RPM. Are you kidding me? She just ran 6 grand. Wow, let's take her out of power mode. That's a little too much power for me, guys. All right, well, oh, something just, oh man. Something just, I don't know, dirt, leaves, feathers, something just went all in my mouth from the vents. Well, guys, I suspect the car is going to drive back to the house, no problem. So I think next we need to start focusing on tires. I need to find out if we got wheel locks on this or not. Hopefully not, because I've never seen a key for the wheel locks in the car. I'd love to find some tires or factory chrome wheels. The original chrome wheels for this car is what I really want. I'll look around on Facebook Marketplace if I can find some great. If not, we'll probably just reuse these wheels. And did I just have a flat? Oh, we'll probably end up having to reuse these wheels. Throw some new tires on it. I told you, cold air conditioning too. I don't know why I'm riding around with the windows down. Cold AC. This is unbelievable. I'm gonna take her back to the house, guys. I'm gonna put her in the yard, back where I got her from. And I guess we're gonna come back in another video and try to finish getting this thing running and driving properly. Listen, this is a free car. At this point, this video, free. I've paid nothing for this car. And if this video does well, I'll probably be up quite a bit as well, so I can afford to really take care of it, try to do it right. That's what I'd like to do with this car. I really like it. I'm surprised that it shifts. The brakes are great. The suspension, that's another big one. 128,000 miles, I was concerned, how's the suspension gonna be on this? It's great, man. Suspension is so smooth. Do I have back brakes? I know I've got front brakes. I don't know if I got back brakes. The suspension on this thing is honestly so smooth. You really wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Not with the kind of not with 128,000 miles. I'm very excited about this car now. I was kind of dreading making this video because I was like, great, what have I gotten myself into? I don't know anything about Lexus. Nothing at all. Meanwhile, the poor car just needed somebody to run through the diagnostic process and figure it out. The unfortunate thing with these old cars is they don't just throw codes like newer model cars do. Like if something goes wrong on a newer model car, a CAN bus car, typically you can plug in a coder and it's like, boom, it knows. Even if the battery's been dead for 5 weeks, you can plug it in and it's like, bam, this is malfunctioning. On these old cars, as soon as you disconnect the battery, it forgets, it loses its memory, it loses everything. You've got to get it to where it's actually running for a little while. It has to run just for a little bit for the computer to go, hey, wait a minute, I figured out what's wrong, where the problem is, and it gives you an idea of where to look to further diagnose the issue. I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. We have never had an LS400 on the channel. I thought I probably got a really bad one. I really thought this was a bad one. As it turns out, I think this is going to be a great car once we get her running right, guys. Drop your comments below and tell me what you think. If you enjoyed this video, well, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed so you don't miss future videos of this car. And if you stuck around to the end, this is my formal notice to you that I have partnered with a company called Fathom, and we're going to start giving away cars on the channel. That's right, we're going to be giving away cars here really, really soon. We're going to have new merch and coffee mugs, all kinds of good stuff coming to the channel, and you don't want to miss what's coming, so definitely subscribe, because the first car I'm trying to get for the channel is going to be something we've never had before, and it's something that I think all of you could appreciate. Stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.